Hi everyone, this is Rashmi Bhandari, and today we will be covering a very important topic for civil engineers. So we will start from the beginning as to how should you be choosing this career, what are the opportunities, should girls be choosing, and finally once you finish your civil engineering course, what are the job prospects, and if you don't have a job in the campus, what should you be doing? So to help us out, we have Teja. So hello Teja.
Hi, how are
Yeah,
you?
doing good. So thank you, Teja, for very much for being with us. Teja has also done a show with us earlier. And just a brief introduction about Teja. He has got 9 years of experience in the construction field. He has been into the construction of buildings and highway projects, and he has worked with prestigious organizations like L&T and LinkedIn. And right now, he is working with Strata Geosystems as the quality and training manager. So, welcome, Teja.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Rashmi. It's good to be here, and I hope I could contribute something
Yeah.
for everyone. Yeah.
Thank you so much. And Teja, so the first question is, there's a lot of apprehension, why be choosing civil engineering? So if someone wants to get into civil engineering, what should they be expecting? And what sort of a mindset should they be having? What sort of skills or, things that they should be having in order to enter the field? And what is the realistic expectation for a candidate once they enter the course?
In all the engineering fields, if someone is looking for a civil engineering field, I feel you should only choose civil engineering when you're passionate about it. I've seen people comparing civil engineering with army. Actually, it is that tough. You have to work under the sun. The working hours will be difficult, and you might not have that much personal life, and the salary starting will be low. So I don't recommend anybody just taking a civil engineering just that they got in an counseling or what. So you have to be choosing it. You have to be deliberately wanting to get into civil engineering to choose a civil engineering. All other fields aside, civil engineering is a tough one, but you have to give it time. With experience only your salaries will increase. So you have to get all these things in mind, then only you choose civil engineering.
So great. So only if you're very passionate about it, then only you should get into this. Otherwise, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Another thing is, Teja, I just want to get clear it from you. Now, the opportunities for girls, because like you said, it's a tough work and it's on the field. It's not like you're sitting inside a building and, very few, I think, would be getting that. But basically, it's out there, you
Right.
get your hands dirty. So what are the opportunities for girls? And should girls be getting into this?
See, in civil engineering, most of the jobs are in execution front. Execution means the guys who are at the site getting the job done. There will be people who will be supporting them, like planning, coordinations, billings, these kind of people. But when you see the ratio, the 90% of the jobs are on site. So these jobs will be tough, and girls working there is in India at least is as of now is very difficult, and companies don't allow girls to work because the conditions are very harsh. So the 10% of the jobs girls has to compete and get a job, and even the guys from 90% also try to get to office jobs to have a comfortable life. So it will be really tricky, especially in the industry. Maybe in the teaching jobs girls can have equal competition with guys, but when you come to the industry, it is going to be tough. So I say to girls also, if you're just like army, as I've given an example of army, girls getting into army is very less. Only if you are very passionate, then only you choose it. So the same thing, if you are very passionate, I want to construct things, build things, then only get into it. Otherwise, don't take it as an option, just see how it happens.
Okay, thank you so much. Another very important aspect I think which they should be knowing about is the perks, or the salary that they can, the compensation that they can expect. Because what
Hmm.
happens, a lot of students, they are there in the campus and they compare themselves with the IT people and the others. So, the expectations are very high, and when you see the ground reality, it's quite different in the initial years. So, could you just throw some light on it? How should the students' expectation be in terms of salary when they are when they're fresh, just stepping out?
That's a very good question. See, when you start with an software job or an electronic job, those industries are set. They are registered companies. And when you hire someone, there is a minimum basic pay, 18,000, 17,000, as per different states. So you have to be paid that amount. But in civil engineering, you can see there are houses being constructed in a village also, where there might not be a proper company. So if you are going and working with that contractor, he might offer you a 5,000, 6,000 salary. It is absolutely possible. I'm not saying this is right. but this is the harsh truth of our civil engineering. You cannot change it overnight. But when you are starting, you have to be ready. If you're being campus placed, obviously you'll get a good salary. But if you're not being placed in a campus, you have to be ready to start working at a very small salary, which will increase with your experience and your attitude too. Don't expect. I have seen people saying that I've got these many years of experience. Why is my salary not increasing? So
Yes.
just based on experience, people won't give you money. It is based on how good that experience is. How could you give value to the organization? Then only it will increase. It is very tough. It is very low when you compare to other corporate, other engineering fields. But yeah, the people who with the right attitude can get salaries what they want.
So how long does it take for a student to actually start earning decent salary? And how what is the life of a civil engineer? Another thing. So is it like because you start a little late, maybe you don't start early. So is it like you still have you can extend it and you work
Right, right.
beyond the others?
Coming to that point, I would like to add, see, in a software field or any other field, generally freshers are given more importance because they bring new ideas, they are more energetic, and as soon as you reach a certain level, if you're not getting into managerial level, software engineers will have difficulty finding a job. 10 years, 15 years experience, you're trying to get a software engineer. So experience and freshness both are given equal importance in software. But in construction industry, experience is the most important one. Like if you have experience, I've seen people who are retired, still companies are keeping them because that their experience is so important. The number of days you work, number of structures, number of things you build, which will add to your resume, that much importance it will increase. So technically speaking, I haven't seen people retire from civil engineering. It keeps on going. Your value will increase drastically once you reach a certain stage.
Oh,
So
that's
that's a
really
positive. Yeah,
Yeah, so that's really nice to hear Tejas because so even though it's initial, there's a little bit of a struggle more than what the others, but then it definitely compensates later and if you stick on to the field.
definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
So Teja, I just want to another question for you. See, the practical skills in the colleges are not really as much, right? So how does a student actually get a little bit more extra practical skills while in college, or maybe the first, second year out of campus? Because all the time, the practical aspect is viewed quite a bit, and academic institutions may not be able to fulfill that.
Definitely, definitely. That's even in our previous video, we have discussed this. I give so much importance when we talk to freshers. I take interviews. So, implant training or industrial training. When you are in college, you go for 1 month or 2 months to an industrial training and learn what the construction activities are going on, how things are being working. So, generally, even when I'm in my civil engineering, I didn't give that much importance to it. I went there, I saw things, and then I came back. But if you could, that is one practical experience which is very important. If you could learn something in those 2 months, and in any interview, if you could say that I know these things, so you will be obviously above all others. Like everyone else will have a bookish knowledge. You at least show that I have some practical knowledge, I have some understanding. That will definitely be a positive to you in an interview, and I think it will help you secure your job much easy.
Okay. And Teja, now, what happens, the harsh reality is a lot of civil students do not get as many opportunities in college. And, even the few companies that come to college, their expectations are way too high. And so, not the whole batch does not get, so it's a very small percentage that gets. So what would be your suggestion or guidance for those students who do not get a job through campus? How should they go about, how should they secure a job?
I think this is the most important question for this interview.
Yes.
So let me answer it. See, most of the civil engineers who complete their civil engineering may not be recruited in a firm. So everybody is at a same level. They have completed BTech or diploma, they don't have a job. Now, what you need to do is, what I suggest is go join a company, even if they are not ready to pay the salary.
Okay.
1 month, 2 months, 3 months, you have to get into that struggle period, learn the things, how things work, what are the important aspects of that particular thing, and then you target a company and ask for a job. See, if you go to Naukri.com or LinkedIn.com, there are jobs with 1 year or 2 year experience. If a company says 1 year or 2 year experience, which means that they know we need someone who's very fresh. So if you go as a civil engineering graduate without zero experience, not even a few months of experience, and apply for the job, they'll obviously reject you. But let's say, for example, you have had 3 months of experience. Who asks for a salary? Let's say you didn't work for a salary. That shows that you are dedicated to your job. You wanted to get into civil engineering. Even I have taken resumes with people who are working for 4 5 months without a salary, but that shows that he wants to learn something. So I will give obviously preference to him when I compare to a fresh graduate who is sitting at home for 1 year without a job. So what I suggest is at least nearby to your house, 1 kilometer, 5 kilometer radius, go there, do work, help that contractor. Maybe he'll take you. Even if he doesn't take you, you'll have enough experience to at least approach the companies, and then companies will give you definitely preference. That's what I suggest.
Okay, so that's a very good suggestion, Teja. And even we, see, I usually see whenever a company wants a small time want to pay anywhere between 7 to 10,000, and most of the time students are not okay. And since they're not okay, even I stopped getting those companies. But I actually feel that that would have been a very good advantage for the students, because at least something is coming. And like you very rightly
Right.
said, if there's nothing, just go and work for free, because I think that will have a very positive impact. But Teja, suppose you work for free, okay? And these students many times they expect, okay, it could be a big construction, then I'll work for free. But you mostly will have these small time construction people or some in the local this thing. So even that should be good enough, isn't it, Teja? Because
Exactly. Exactly. I'll give you one example which we have faced this year. So we went to campus interviews in Bhopal. There was this one guy who came for an interview. I've recognized him. I've said that I've taken your interview before. He said yes. So 6 months back, we have taken an interview and we have rejected him. We didn't like him, experience. See, when you don't have experience, we select based on attitude. We want absolutely the best. We feel like if he's the best, then only we'll take him and train him. So we might have rejected him. He said that, yes, sir, I've attended the interview and I've been rejected. Then he said that in this 6 months, he came to know about our company, what kind of work we do. He went to a nearby site where our work is being done, similar kind of work. So he went there 2 months, 3 months. He learned a few things. And then in the interview, he could be able to tell a few words. And we were so much impressed with it. Our HR manager took his name to our CEO, and we were impressed.
yes.
Obviously, he's putting efforts. Uh, he's making our company feel special. If you could do that to any company, I don't think any company will reject you for anything. Don't
Okay.
you think so?
Absolutely, Teja. Very rightly put. Now, Teja, okay, you work for a few months. I got it now, or a year even. And then how do you? I mean, is it like LinkedIn and in Naukri? Do they really call you, or is it like apply, no reply?
Call the companies have numbers online. Call them, ask them to connect to HRs. I'm sure not every company will entertain. there'll
Yes.
there'll be some companies which won't entertain, but mostly they will. Let's say, see, people complain. I've seen people complaining ki I'm sending resume to Naukri or LinkedIn, but still they are not replying, or see, it basically happens like this. Every company will have openings. If we have so many openings, first we'll try to fill it through references. Anybody knows anyone, right? So once that is completed, then we'll go for LinkedIn or Naukri. So if a company is having fewer vacancies and all of them are being filled with the references itself, we won't go for Naukri or LinkedIn. So you have to target companies which are posting jobs constantly, which means that the company is growing. They want people more. They are ready to accept freshers or with guys with 3 months or 4 months experience. If you keep on approaching a company like L&T, where vacancies won't be filled like this, and say that nobody is giving him an opportunity, it doesn't make any sense. There are companies. Go to Naukri and type civil engineer. There'll be thousands of jobs coming in, right? So you have to select the company which are constantly putting posts, not the companies which are big names. So when you want a job, you have to approach where you are needed, not what's your want.
Yeah, and they should be ready to any other thing like ready for to relocate. All those things should be there and work for again a basic salary. I think because again somewhere students miss out on that. What is the average starting salary, Teja? If you can just tell for a civil engineer.
See, I've just given you an answer. People are working without a salary. So how can I answer average salary?
Okay.
There's no rule. Yeah.
All right. So another thing is, if I don't have a job, a lot of students will go for training institutes. I don't know. So you tell me, is it worth it, or do you feel like you should go and work under a contractor, that is better, or pay some money and go for some training institute and they train you for something?
See, as I've earlier said, 90% of the jobs are execution jobs where at site you're doing something. The other 10%, they'll need softwares, the software take learn a software for civil engineering, learn this for civil engineering. These things come under that 10%. So already the competition is high. You're learning a software, CAD software, this software, that software, stat software, and you're trying to get into that 10% is very difficult. So my suggestion would be to cater this 90% by getting into an execution or at site learning things. That will be much easier for you. I strongly suggest getting into a company, working for a company without a salary more than that other
Training,
option.
right? Yeah, very rightly put. And thank you so much, because a lot of students, as soon as they don't go to some training institute, I
Yeah,
think
yeah, I
they
know.
can save a lot of money and get some good experience by
Definitely,
working right away.
definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
So Teja, now again, see, okay, this is the construction field. What other opportunities do they have? Suppose for the civil engineer, because there is GATE and government exams and all that. So would you suggest any of it for them?
Okay, I'll even in the construction industry, there are some industries which are not visible to everyone. Once I get into the industry, then only I could know that, these are also civil engineering jobs. For example, there are construction chemical companies. See, chemicals are very big in the world. You know that we use chemicals everywhere. But construction chemicals are a biggest chunk of chemicals because construction is one of the biggest industries. Cement manufacturing is biggest industry in the world. So construction chemical companies like BASF, Fosroc, there are so many companies coming into India. All these companies need civil engineers. At the end of the day, construction chemicals only they are using. So when I was in civil engineering college, I didn't know that there will be companies like this hiring civil engineers. So you can target those companies also, approach those companies also. They'll take you for a technical sales job where you need to take their products and sell it to the customers in a residential or construction projects. So those kind of jobs are there, and auditing jobs are there. There will be auditing jobs where you go and audit a particular site. A civil engineering construction projects will be audited. So if you go into extension of construction industry, not core construction, you'll have other jobs also. So you can look into those jobs. That's what my suggestion is.
Oh, okay, very good. So, Teja, another thing is, a lot of IT companies also come to the campus. So, I
Hmm.
always tell my students, please write, because always have an option, because whenever a core company comes, you can always, opt for that, but there's always a backup. So what is your take, if a student does not get anything and has an IT job, service sector, would you say that go ahead and join? Because, for them, it just doesn't matter, they train everyone. And at the end of the day, they say even the civil engineers actually and the mechanical engineers do better than the IT people, because they know they don't know. So they work hard. And then at the end, it's all about hard work.
Right,
So
right, right.
what is your take on that?
See, it depends on an individual decision. The one guy who feels that, he has taken a civil engineering just because he was so much into civil engineering, he wants to do something into civil engineering. Maybe you should stick to it. And what I've told you, get into a job and learn something and approach bigger companies. Your career growth will be higher because at the end of the day, you choose it because you wanted to. You have that passion inside you. But for someone who took it casually, so I prefer you attend the interviews. Maybe you like software industry more than this. This is not right as a civil engineer to say this, but yeah, it might happen. If you don't have a job, who's stopping you from doing anything else? At the end of the day, you have to run your family, you have to earn your living, right?
Yeah. So, and Teja, any final tips for the audience, for especially for students, who have missed out on campuses? Any last minute thing that they could do, or any final tip for the students? What you would leave? Any message from your end?
So before the last message, I wanted to cover one more thing. Higher education,
Okay, yeah, that's
MTech.
yes, yes,
We forgot that.
yes,
MTech and MBA.
yeah.
So especially in construction industry, if someone does an MTech and his resume comes to me, if someone did a BTech and plus 2 years, which is MTech 2 years of experience, I would basically prefer, and most of the construction industry would prefer BTech plus 2 years of experience more
Yes.
than MTech. So you guys have to keep it in mind when you're considering you didn't get a job. Okay, I'll do an MTech, which might not help you, and you're spending money, you're giving time. Instead of that, if you could give that 2 years and learn something, it will be much more useful for us. There are some MTech jobs. If you get into a good IIT, you'll get a good job, definitely. But just for the namesake, don't do MTech. If you're really passionate about teaching or really passionate about doing post graduation on in your field, then it is fine. But just for the job sake in a construction industry, it is not at all preferred. Do not go for MTechs just for the job. And the second thing is MBA and construction management. These days, construction management MBAs are in big boom. There are institutes like NICMAR and RICS. These companies, these industries.
Teja?
What?
Nigmar, can you spell it out? What is it? How do you spell it?
National Institute of Construction Management and Research.
Okay, and
So
the other.
NIC,
Okay,
RICS.
all right.
So these are the institutes, premier institutes. What they do is after your BTech, you can join them. They'll give you 2 years of post graduation, especially in construction management. This is an MBA for construction. So there are companies coming and approaching NICMAR, and they do get good jobs. But at the end of the day, it is an expensive MBA. If you don't get a job, you will be in a bigger trouble than when you are in BTech. So that is a risk you should be you should be ready to take. So once you get into NICMAR, if you've done well, if you there are good companies coming up, big consultancies coming up, KPMG, Deloitte, and construction consultancies also going in, and they also take good numbers. And my previous company, Lighten, used to take from NICMAR and RICS. So yeah, big companies will take from those organizations, but it is a risk at the end of the day. If you don't get a job after construction management, then you will be in a bigger issue. And the
Thank
third op
you for covering this very important topic, because this higher education is always there in the minds of students who don't get it.
Definitely,
And I think
definitely,
it's true for almost all, it's not only for civil engineering, for everyone, because a BTech with experience is much more better than theoretical, basically, experience, unless you're getting into R&D in the other sectors, but so important that you cover this. Yes.
right,
Yeah.
right. And the third thing is people wanted to go for regular MBA. If you're going for a regular MBA, obviously you'll be leaving construction field aside. So your opportunities will open up, and you can approach any company. So yeah, people who feel that I've taken a wrong step, maybe civil engineering is not for me, you can go for a regular MBA and move out of the industry. That is also there. What I suggest as a last thought, what I'll say is, if you are choosing civil engineering, know what you're getting into, come with your full heart. If you There are opportunities, it is tough, I'm not saying that it is easy. I've faced it myself, so it is tough. If you have given your heart, if you try your best, if your attitude is good, if you're learning, obviously you'll have opportunities. Your salary growth will be less even after that. If you're ready for that, come to it. But just don't blame saying that civil engineering is bad. This negativity doesn't help anyone. Try to
Yes.
be positive. I'm sure there'll be opportunities.
Yeah.
That will be fun.
But Teja, I have to ask you one last thing.
Okay.
How is this, the pandemic, has it affected the construction? Because everyone is talking about it. So do you see some hope at the end of the tunnel, or how is it? Is it going to become better?
See, pandemic or not pandemic, companies who are growing, companies who have work, companies who are in profits will hire, will take people. Even we are recruiting currently. We have taken 20-25 freshers in this year itself. Last
Oh,
2 months back also we have taken. So a company growing, company recruiting will recruit. We are having work. After 15 days of pandemic, government has given approval to work on construction projects, especially highways. So we have started working within 15-20 days of the pandemic. It didn't affect us that much. Now that it has been 6 months after the pandemic, now we are back to normal work. There's no difference in our construction site. It's going normally. The companies which will be affected are the companies already in losses. This 6 months will put additional pressure on them. They'll sack people, they'll remove people, they won't take any people. So it's either way. A company working, a company doing good will do good even in the pandemic. That's what I feel.
all right. Thank you, Teja, for sharing your time and your inputs. And I want to thank you wholeheartedly for this. And to the viewers, that's it from all of us from here. Until we meet again, it's bye.